On this annual general meeting, I want to congratulate every member for all that we have achieved together. I want to thank the staff of the Crane Secretariat for their hard work even during the lockdown. I also want to thank our partners who have made resources available for this great work. I've had the opportunity to see specific girls' faces, specific girls with specific names who represent many others in our city whose lives have been transformed by what we do together. As we look into the future, it is important that we strengthen our networking. We are a network and we need to act like one. We still have many opportunities for connection that we have not yet tapped into, and therefore we are limiting our potential. I was thinking about the Apostle Paul and wondering why he accomplished so much in his lifetime. As I studied his life, I discovered that one of his strengths was his ability to network. There are many descriptions in the scripture that highlight these strengths in the Apostle Paul's life. One, you see him engaging the Jews. Paul was a man who was a Jew, who lived in the Hellenized world under the rule of the Roman Empire, but he connected with his countrymen in the synagogues, according to Acts 17. We see him going to the synagogues first in every city he entered. We are told that he reasoned with them from the scriptures. He knew that in the synagogues, his victory tool was to engage the Jewish audience with the scriptures. Then he reasoned with the Greeks in the lecture halls. Paul stands in the Greek audience and he uses a completely different approach to connect the Greeks. He begins by connecting with their world and then proclaims the gospel to them. People of Athens, he says, I see that in every way you are religious. First I walked around, I looked and saw the objects of worship. I found an altar to the unknown God. So you are ignorant of the very things you worship. So Paul uses the Greek experience of worship to speak to them in their own language. Now, Paul also knew how to be all things to all people and to use the networks of the world to further his mission. He says, though I am free and belong to no one, I have made myself a slave to everyone, to win as many as possible. To the Jews, I became a Jew to win the Jews. To those under the law, I became one under the law, though I myself am not under the law, so as to win those under the law. To those who having the law, I became like one not having the law, though I am not free from God's law, but I'm under Christ's law, so as to win those not having the law. To the weak I became weak, to win the weak, to have become all things to all people, so that by all possible means I might save some. I do all this for the sake of the gospel, that I may share in his blessing. So we know that the Apostle Paul teaches us some truths. One, we have to understand that our ultimate accountability in this work is God. Therefore, we do not just work to please men. We want God to be honored in this work that we do together. Two, we must clearly understand and be agreed on our critical agenda, that this agenda is to reduce the risks to children in our country and in our circles of influence. So everyone who belongs to this network must embrace that as a big priority. Just as the gospel was Paul's most critical agenda, our agenda as a network is driven by the priority of reducing the risks to children. Three, we must understand each other to make the right connections with each other. We can see that the Apostle Paul seeks to connect the different groups according to who they were. We too must be willing to learn to understand one another, to grow in our relationships so that we can better connect as a network. God bless you.